How do you demonstrate value in an organization without looking like a know-it-all or being hated for it? This has got to be my favorite question. This is Soluchy, talent specialist, HR business partner, performance coach. Allow me to teach you how to level up in your career and optimize your talents, and for businesses, how to optimize your gifts and your talent. How do you demonstrate value in an organization without being hated? That's almost impossible, I dare say. And that's because if you're operating in an environment where it's okay to be average, it's okay to operate at a certain level, you would definitely appear like a know-it-all. There are certain, and I don't just mean workspaces. This could be in relationships. This could be with friendships. This could be in your business. When people are used to you delivering at a certain level or delivering value, it is possible that you see people who want to pull you down to their level because they feel you do too much. Why are we not doing it this way? Let me get practical. Every time I have to stand in front of a red light and I see cars passing, trust me, I feel like a fool. I always ask myself, why am I standing behind this red light? Everybody is passing. However, I cannot act in a way that is inconsistent with my values. So I see a red light, I have to stand in front of the red light until it says go. That's the same in every organization. Sometimes I walk into organizations, I see the way perhaps files are handled, perhaps the way reports are being done, the way meetings are being conducted, and all of a sudden I just start getting a little bit agitated and I show it. I have no other option but to show it because I like to operate at a certain level. Do people get ticked off for it? Yes, they will get ticked off for it because you are walking into a space where it is okay to send in reports with grammatical errors, where it is okay to come to work at any time, where it is okay to be anyhow. So how do I be in that kind of environment without being hated or liked? Let me backtrack a bit. Let's talk about how do you demonstrate value in an organization. One, you have to be strategic and innovative. Every time I walk into an organization, I always first of all observe and look at how they do things. How do you do things? How do you organize meetings? How is this done? Why do you do things like this? I try to find out the why. I observe. However, I strongly believe in not leaving things exactly the same way I meet them. I must make it different. So I'm usually innovative, but strategic. Strategic in the sense that it has to yield a longer term result and it has to be sustainable. So for you to add value in an organization, you have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You can't just say, I am doing what I was told to do. I am working according to my JD. Think outside the box. Do things differently. Look, it can be minimal. It doesn't have to be something outlandish, but you start from minimal. It can be redesigning the way a report is done. It can be redesigning the way meetings are conducted. It can be coming up with new policies. The point, for you to add value, people have to see that you're doing something more. You're going over and above average. That's one way. Second way is to no-brainer. Have knowledge and apply it. You have to be someone that knows at least a little bit about almost everything. Be knowledgeable and don't be afraid to apply that knowledge. When you are in meetings, speak up. Have a voice. Have an opinion. Don't cower behind just because you are like, oh, would they think I'm being too forward? Have the knowledge and apply it. If you know something, don't be afraid to show that you know it. If you don't know something, do not be afraid to ask and to learn. So one, be strategic and innovative. Secondly, have knowledge and apply it. Thirdly, I like this a lot, be proactive. You need to be someone who learns how to think ahead. For you to be able to do that, you have to have a panoramic view of whatever you're into, whether it's your business or your organization. What does that mean? See the end from the beginning. Don't just see the parts, see the whole. When you do that, your decision making will be right on the money. Why? Because you see things that other people do not see, and you're able to do scenario planning. You're able to apply the what if. Be someone who is proactive, who thinks quickly on their feet. You have thought about it before it happens, and you have a plan for it. That way you add value to the organization and the people around you. Last but not the least, my mantra. At the risk of sounding, repetitive every time, but you're going to hear it every time you hear me speak. Be excellent. Be excellent. Quality, value. Now, how do you do these things in an organization without being hated or without being labeled a know-it-all? 1, decide if your goal is to be liked or if your goal is to be a high-value person. If your goal is to be liked, then don't bother about adding value. For every time you come into a company of people, friends, association, or organization where it is okay, we like to do it this way, this is how we've always done it. If you ever come into that company, you are going to stick out like a sore thumb every time you want to go over and above. So decide. Is your goal to be liked, or is your goal to be a person of high value? I don't think I care much to be liked as much as I care to add value, because that is something that is synonymous with my person. So you have to decide, do I want to be liked or do I want to add value? Your choice. The next way to demonstrate value without being isolated, you have to decide if you mind the conflict that comes with it. Trust me, when you begin to do things that other people are not doing at a level other people are not doing it, you would face conflict. People are going to rile you up. People are going to wonder, what's your own? What's your own? Why are you so extra? Oh, I hear that all the time. Why are you so extra? Why do you do too much? I do too much because I like too much. So decide if you want to handle the conflict that comes with it, or whether what your goal is more important to you than the conflict that comes up with it. These are some of the realities that you have to face to be a person of value. Then decide if you want to be in that space at all or not. Sometimes I find myself walking away from environments or associations that do not water me or nurture me or do not represent my values. You have to decide. It's your choice. You have to decide. There are organizations that you have to stay in, stick it out, add the value. You don't mind being isolated. You don't mind being a sore thumb. You don't mind not being liked. But listen to me. There's always something about value. At the end of the day, that hate is secret admiration. You keep at it long enough, people are going to line up and it's going to rub off on people, because a culture of value is something that everybody sort of wants, but nobody wants to work for it. So if you stick with it long enough, it begins to rub off on people and become a culture. And people begin to, those that seemingly hate you for it, they begin to line up. So decide if you want to be there, stick it out long enough to add the value. I always like to stay in a space where I leave where the ovation is loudest. You would always remember me for something. So decide if you want to stick to it. And last but not the least, have a goal. I think when you have a goal, it keeps you focused. So you don't really care about the naysayers, the doubters, or whether I'm liked or not. I have a goal. I came into this organization to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to focus on it, deliver value. And if I want to leave, I leave when the ovation is loudest. I never want to be known among just one of the employees. I like to stand out. That should be one of your core values as a high performer. So have a goal. 2-year plan, 3-year plan, whatever it is, have a goal that keeps you focused on delivering value. And last but not the least, keep delivering value. It will rub off on people. It will become a culture. I'd like to leave you with this quote with Peter Montaya, a personal branding guru. He says, "Express yourself and what you stand for to everyone you meet, clients, colleagues, friends, neighbors, even strangers. Do this constantly and consistently, and you will create an effective and lucrative personal brand. Everybody you come in contact with should immediately know what your brand is by doing it consistently and constantly. Don't forget, everyone you meet, clients, colleagues, friends, neighbors, strangers, should come in contact with value when they come in contact with you. See you next time.